In a world that often treats aging as a slow surrender, there are cultures that transform into a dance of quiet strength and balance. Japan is one of those places where growing older doesn't mean slowing down. It means deepening the relationship with your own body. Walk through any neighborhood and you'll see men and women in their 70s tending their gardens, carrying groceries, or kneeling gracefully to tie a child's shoes. Their vitality doesn't come from modern fitness trends or expensive supplements, but from a handful of timeless postures. Movements so simple that they blend seamlessly into daily life, yet powerful enough to keep muscles active and minds alert. These ancestral practices, rooted in stillness and control, have been quietly shaping resilient bodies for centuries. One of these is Seiza, a traditional way of sitting on the heels with the back tall and the heart open. It's more than a cultural gesture. It's a full-body exercise disguised as a moment of rest. The thighs, calves, and core all engage to hold balance, gently strengthening and aligning the spine. Over time, this seated posture improves circulation, keeps ankles flexible, and reawakens forgotten stability in the lower body. For beginners, a cushion under the hips can make it accessible without strain. What starts as a challenge becomes an anchor, a return to presence, breath, and grounded strength. Equally symbolic and physical is Kibadachi, often called a horse stance. It's a position familiar to martial artists. Feet wide, knees bent, and the body centered like a rooted tree. It demands not brute force, but awareness. Awareness of how your weight travels through your legs, how your core holds steady against gravity. This stance builds resilience in the thighs and hips, but more importantly, it trains balance. As people age, balance becomes one of the first things to fade. Kibadachi teaches the body to find symmetry again, to resist falling, both literally and metaphorically. Practicing it daily, even for short periods, strengthens coordination and confidence in movement, turning ordinary acts like climbing stairs into effortless gestures of grace. The beauty of these Japanese postural traditions lies not in performance, but in constancy. They are lived rather than performed, integrated into routines like brewing tea or sitting in meditation. While Western exercise often seeks intensity, these practices whisper a different wisdom. That strength comes from quiet persistence. Over time, they sculpt not just muscle but awareness, teaching the body to remain alive in every motion, no matter how small. Another of these fascinating forms of stillness and motion is reconnecting, known as the cat stance. Inspired by the poised precision of a cat before it leaps, this position teaches both control and readiness. The weight of the body rests mostly on the back leg, while the front foot touches the ground softly, almost testing it. That subtle shift awakens the ankles, strengthens the feet, and creates an elastic sense of balance throughout the body. For older adults, it becomes a safeguard, training the nervous system to react quickly, preventing slips and falls. More than exercise, reconnecting reconnects us with the instinctive grace we once had as children, the lightness of moving without fear of losing footing. When practiced slowly and intentionally, it becomes almost meditative, blending stability with flow. From the alertness of the cat, we move inward to Zazen, a seated meditation posture rooted in Zen Buddhism. Legs crossed, back straight, eyes soft, Zazen teaches our still strength. In remaining perfectly still, the body begins to awaken muscles deep in the abdomen, spine, and pelvic floor that often go unused in modern life. It also calms the mind, reducing stress hormones and improving sleep quality through the gentle rhythm of conscious breathing. The challenge isn't physical endurance, but the patience to stay quiet, aware, grounded. Over time, Zazen becomes a mirror that reflects how you meet the world, with restlessness or with presence. Many who practice it daily notice not only less tension in the lower back, but a clearer mind and a more stable emotional balance. Then there is Shikodachi, the powerful stance borrowed from the ancient art of sumo. Feet wide apart, toes turned slightly outward, knees bent as if lowering into an invisible chair. This position awakens the legs like fire. It demands effort, yes, but it returns power. The thighs, glutes, and hips all join forces, building a foundation of strength that supports daily movements like standing up, lifting objects, or climbing stairs. It may look simple, but Shikodachi teaches endurance, the kind that comes not from youth or energy drinks, but from patience and repetition. In Japan, these postures are not treated as separate workouts, but as lifelong companions. They remind the body of its natural intelligence, encouraging micro-adjustments, balance, and flexibility. Over time, these gentle practices reduce joint strain, protect the lower back, and enhance posture. If you've reached this part of the video and feel inspired by how something so simple can be so transformative, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and join our growing community. Tell me in the comments which of these postures speaks to you the most. Perhaps Seiza, with its serenity, or maybe the fiery endurance of Shikodachi. Don't just drop an emoji. Share how you imagine incorporating it into your day. Your story might spark motivation for someone else watching right now. Among all these postures, one stands out for its blend of tradition and modern practicality: the wall squat. Though it didn't originate in Japan, it was adopted and perfected there because of its simplicity and effectiveness. The practice is straightforward. Stand with your back against the wall, feet shoulder-width apart, and slowly slide down until your knees form a right angle, as if sitting on an invisible chair. Then hold. At first, even a few seconds feel eternal, but this controlled stillness is where transformation begins. The thighs tremble, the core tightens, and the breath deepens. Muscles awaken in ways that static sitting never allows. With time, this posture enhances endurance, stabilizes the knees, strengthens the hips, and improves cardiovascular resilience. Adding a small ball or cushion between the knees intensifies the work on the inner thighs and improves leg alignment, creating harmony between strength and posture. But beyond the physical challenge lies something more profound: a reconnection with patience. The wall squat demands focus and trust in the process. You can't rush through it. The body must learn to endure, to breathe through the discomfort, to stay steady. That's exactly how these postures differ from quick-fix fitness routines. They remind us that progress doesn't come from excess, but from balance and consistency. Even 1 or 2 minutes of mindful practice each day can lead to visible results over time. The Japanese approach to longevity teaches that transformation is not about pushing harder, but about listening deeper, to the joints, to the rhythm of your breath, to the quiet pulse of your body telling you what it needs. These practices don't just shape the body, they reshape the relationship we have with aging itself. Instead of seeing time as an enemy, the Japanese view it as a partner, a rhythm that can be harmonized through movement and stillness. The older generations who continue to practice Seiza, Kibadachi, or Zazen are living proof that strength doesn't disappear with age. It evolves. It becomes subtler, wiser, and more rooted. The ability to kneel, stand, or balance gracefully at 70 or 80 isn't luck. It's a reward care accumulated over decades. The greatest lesson of these postures is consistency. There's no need to force progress. Begin with 1 minute today, 2 minutes next week. Let your body adapt, awaken, and strengthen naturally. Even if discomfort appears at first, that mild challenge is part of reactivating what's been forgotten. The body's intelligence knows how to respond. It just needs the invitation. Each of these forms, from the poised Niko Akade to the grounded Zazen, works together like a symphony. They bring back coordination, control, and quiet confidence. The more often they're practiced, the more natural they feel, until one day they cease to be exercises and simply become the way you move through life. As these timeless postures weave into daily life, something extraordinary happens. The body begins to remember. It remembers how to balance with ease, how to move without hesitation, how to breathe without tension. The morning stiffness softens, the steps become lighter, and even simple acts like bending or standing take on a quiet dignity. Aging no longer feels like a slow decline, but like a refining process, a way of polishing the body's wisdom. This is the essence of what Japanese longevity practices teach. That grace and strength can coexist, that stillness can train resilience, and that motion can be an act of peace. What unites Seiza, Kibadachi, Niko Akade, Zazen, Shikodachi, and the wall squat is not the position itself, but the intention behind it. Each posture invites presence. It's not about perfection or aesthetics. It's about awareness. You notice the subtle shifts in balance, the rhythm of your breathing, the grounding of your feet, and the quiet power of your spine. In a society that glorifies rush and distraction, standing still with purpose becomes a small act of rebellion. These positions are reminders that health is not built through noise, but through devotion. And while it might seem that these movements serve the physical body alone, their influence reaches deeper. They awaken confidence. They calm anxiety. They teach patience and invite humility. Practicing even one of them regularly cultivates a kind of internal alignment, a sense that mind, breath, and muscle are finally working together instead of against each other. Over time, that alignment translates into balance, not just in motion, but in life. It doesn't matter whether you're 43, 67, or 85. These postures are gateways back to your natural strength. You don't need fancy gyms, expensive tools, or high-intensity regimens. What you need is commitment. The quiet promise to move every day, even if it's for a few minutes. Use cushions, walls, or support when needed. There's no shame in adapting. The key is to keep showing up for your own body, honoring it not as something to fight against, but as something to cooperate with. The consistency you offer today becomes a vitality you'll feel in the future. If this message resonates with you, if you ever felt inspired to reclaim your balance, or if you've discovered that strength can be soft, consider subscribing to the channel. Stay close to this community of people who are learning to move with awareness and age with purpose. Share your story below. Tell us what you've tried, what changed for you, or even what challenges you faced. Every comment, every reflection helps someone else see that they're not alone in this journey. Together, we're proving that aging is not an ending. It's a continuation written in motion and mindfulness. Because growing older with vitality isn't about resisting time. It's about harmonizing with it. And every breath, every small posture, every day of gentle practice is a way of saying yes to life, to balance, to strength that never fades.